Well, oh. Hello everyone. My name's Richard from Stretch Imagination, and I'd like to welcome you all here tonight. Thank you for coming along. So we have a session on conversational marketing for business growth. So hopefully I'll be able to share a few things with you tonight, but just a little bit about me, why I do what I do. I'm passionate about tiny homes and providing. I've got a goal of providing tiny homes for disadvantaged people all across Australia. So that's a long-term project that's in the wings. Where I come from, I've got a background as a landscape architect. So I have I suppose, come from a different arena into digital marketing, but I bring those skills of being able to sort of visualize from a bird's eye perspective and pick up the details of things. And what do I like? Well, I've done quite a bit of training. I've done training on Udemy, Google AdWords, qualified, inbound certified with HubSpot. I also love reading a lot of business books and marketing books. So things like, Russell Brunson, Expert Secrets, Gary Vaynerchuk, Jab, 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 Right Hook, Seth Godin, a few of my favorites there. So that's just a little bit about me to give you a feeling for what I'm about. So our agenda for tonight, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what exactly is conversational marketing, because I'm guessing that's quite likely a term that you haven't come across before. It's not that widely known, I guess. If you're in the marketing world, you'd probably know about it, but otherwise not so well. So essentially, conversational marketing involves chatbots. So we'll then be looking at the role of chatbots and how they work. And we'll look at the steps required to construct an effective chatbot. We'll also then look at Facebook Business Manager, Facebook ads, and then if we get enough time, we'll do some live chatbot building. So we've got quite a bit to get through there. And why we're doing Business Manager and Facebook ads, because that's one of the key aspects of chatbots and conversational marketing. So what is conversational marketing? Well, it's really a form of marketing that really talks to consumers. And I suppose I've come from a journey where I am in a business network here in Australia, where we do a lot of relationship building. It's about, getting to know your other fellow business owners and building relationships and getting to know them that way. And conversational marketing is really about building those same kind of relationships through the channels, having conversations. And this is really done primarily through chatbots, but can also be through other things, technologies like voice assistants, live chat, conversational AI, that kind of thing. And what it does, it allows you to turn things that are traditionally seen as marketing materials, so like your forms, other kinds of presentation materials, and make them more interactive. So people are generally more engaged when it's more interactive, rather than having a lot of information just thrown into their face. So conversational marketing is essentially based on around the idea of one-to-one interactions. Whether someone's live there or not is another story, but it's all about one-to-one interactions in real time, often across multiple channels. And really these days, it's the fastest way to move buyers through your marketing and sales funnels through this power of real-time conversations. So it can create authentic experiences with your customers and buyers. So rather than a traditional way of taking people to a form, a lead capture form of some sort, or a customer support form, and then having them wait days for a response. So what conversational marketing does is use targeted messaging and then intelligent chatbots to engage with people when they're on your website or through other entry points, which we'll talk about. And that makes it easier for people to then engage with your business, which will help then convert more of the right leads faster, which ultimately means happier customers and a happier business for you. So as I said, it's all about communicating and building trust with your current and potential customers. So in my business network that we're in, we have a process we talk about called visibility, credibility, and profitability, the VCP process. So first of all, that means you have to get visibility in your marketplace. Once you've got the visibility, then you need to build credibility, which is building the trust factor. And this is where the conversational marketing comes in, because it really helps to build that trust factor in a fast and efficient manner. And that obviously then turns into profitability when people start buying. So one of my favorite mentors in the social space, if you like, is Gary Vaynerchuk. If you don't know if you've heard of him or not, but he has a particular style which I really, a pithy style which I quite like, and lots of really good information. And one of the things he always says is that these days the currency of business is attention. And so where is people's attention these days? It's on their smartphone. People's attention is on their smartphone. So if you can do business and be present on their smartphone, get their attention on their smartphone, then you're going to do a lot better. And one of the best ways to do that is obviously through conversational marketing with chatbots and other forms of communication. So there I'd like to look at 5 reasons why every business should look at or should use chatbots. So number 1 is to grow revenue. So when you have a messenger bot working for your business, when I say messenger bot, these days we can now actually do Instagram bots as well. So when we talk about when a messenger or a chatbot is working for a business, well then you as the business owner don't need to be available 24/7, or you don't need to have customer support staff available 24/7. So your customers or your potential customers can still make purchases, still get answers to their questions, still interact and generate leads without any waiting at all, and without getting frustrated because no one's there to help them. And number 2 is building better relationships. So, as a business owner, again, you always be wanting to learn about your customer, more about your customers, so you can provide them with the exact things that products and services they really need. So with a chatbot, whether it's in Instagram or Messenger, you can see what your customers are asking, how they're interacting with the bot, get a lot more intelligence about what they want, what they like, and generally get to know them better. These chatbots are also very affordable, so they don't cost a huge amount to create. If you're doing it yourself, you can actually choose how much you want to spend on creating your bot. It's really just a matter of your time and the cost of the platform that you choose to use. And once the chatbot is up and running, there's not a huge amount of time and cost to maintain it, and it's typically fairly low. So again, that depends on whether you're doing it yourself or through an agency, but really the upkeep is to just keep a watch on the bot and adjust it to basically improve its performance over time, depending on, of course, what the purpose of the chatbot is. So a lot of businesses will actually go out and create new chatbots each month for different promotions and things. So there's always a process of creating new ones too. Number 4, they give you greater and easier reach. So there's literally millions of people using messaging apps every day. That's, actually billions of people, I could say. Messengers is still about the 4th or 5th most downloaded app on the App Store. So when a business uses a messenger bot within these apps, and again, Instagram is another very popular one, that's millions of people that make up your audience. They're very easy to reach. So there are very few other types of online marketing or business services, for that matter, which can boast that same kind of reach. And 5thly, these chatbots save you tons of time. So, again, as a business owner, it's virtually impossible to deal with every customer at once. So while you can, often get to all of them, it can take time. And where the chatbot helps out is it saves that time, because you can have the same conversation with multiple people any time of the day or night. So people don't become frustrated while they wait for you to respond. Typically if somebody messages you on Facebook and you take longer than an hour to respond, they will go somewhere else. So if you can use a chatbot to respond to their questions, or even if it's just bridging the gap until you can actually get back to them with a full answer, you're going to reach and attract a whole lot more people. So there's just a few benefits for you of why chatbots are great for your business. So what does a messenger bot look like? Well, here's an example. We're having as I said, people are having conversations on their messaging apps every day with their friends. So why not, as a business, have that same kind of conversation as if you're one of the friends? So this is a typical sort of a conversation that somebody might have. This is what it looks like. There's there's images, there's emoticons, emojis. There's people can send money. They can do all sorts of activities within Messenger itself. Listen to music, listen to audio, look at videos, all kinds of interactions that go on. We can build all those same kind of things into a chatbot. So one other thing that chatbots can do is, if you are already running Facebook ads to generate leads for your business, they can increase your overall ad effectiveness. So lead ads in particular are very well known for generating lots of leads, but very poor quality leads. Whereas if you run ads to Messenger, you'll increase the effectiveness and get better quality leads coming through. So there's an example of an ad of how it might look. Typical ad, but see the difference is that you can click the send message button, which takes someone from the ad into Facebook Messenger and starts a conversation. As simple as that. So if you're on with us live here, I'd like to, what's your idea for, what would your idea be for a chatbot? What would you see as being one of the best ideas for your chatbot? Is it the customer service? Is it to run competitions? What kind of offer might you have? What kind of goal might you have for your chatbot? So have a think about that while we go through the next slides, because it's always good to have a goal for what you want to achieve. So first of all, I'd like to talk about building your box now for a successful campaign. So now this is an idea that helps you delineate the different aspects of your chatbot and what you need to do to basically come up with the best outcome. So every successful campaign really needs these things in it. So on one side, we need to look at what are the constraints around your chatbot or your business. What kind of assets might you have? So for example, look at, well, what's your budget? What kind of budget do you have? Do you have just a small amount of money to run on ads? Or do you have a large ad budget? Because that will have an effect on what you do and where you position your bot, what you do with it. Have a look at how many page followers do you have? Do you have a large number of followers on your page or Instagram followers that you can take advantage of, that you can use to reach out with your chatbot? What other constraints might there be around your business in terms of running a chatbot? So next we need to look at the user journey. So the user journey is about what happens what journey do you want them to take from within the chatbot? Is the purpose to generate leads? Is it to give them make a particular offer to them? Is it even just to introduce your business to a potential customer? We can create chatbots that actually retarget buyers, people who've just bought from you, or people who visited your website, cold retargeting. Is it some kind of chatbot to, for example, qualify potential leads? If you're a mortgage broker, they often, in particular, have a lot of questions they want to ask, which, in my mortgage broker friends, they say, can spend an hour or 2 hours on the phone with their new clients, asking questions, going through, collecting lots of information. if they can collect a lot of that information up front before the person ever speaks to them, that's a lot of the work done for them already. Is the purpose of the chatbot to, run a contest or a competition, which is a great way of generating new leads for your business? Or is it simply to inform or help customers, let them know about something in particular about your business? There's all sorts of aspects, all sorts of ways that you might want to use your chatbot. So you need to decide what your goal is. What's the user journey? Where do you want to take them to? Our next step is to look at the entry point. So now this is an aspect that a lot of people don't understand very well with chatbots, and in particular messenger chatbots and Instagram chatbots. So when we talk about an entry point is the place where people start interacting with your chatbot. So I've already mentioned one of them, which is Facebook advertising. So the entry point is the button on the Facebook ad that takes people into the messenger conversation. But there are a few others as well. So we can create, for messenger chatbots, we can create an actual URL that will, if somebody clicks it, will take them into the conversation. And that URL obviously could be used in an email situation. And along the same lines, we can use that same URL in a QR code, which can be then used in, say, print material, like in direct mail, flyers that you drop in people's letterboxes, or it can be used, say, on signage, perhaps even on a vehicle wrap that you do. So people can, people walk past your car, they can scan the QR code and start a conversation with your business as they walk past. All sorts of ideas about QR codes to use to get people into conversations. We talked about the ads, which you can run on Facebook or Instagram. Now with Instagram in particular, we can create various entry points into the Instagram conversations. Now, we can have a link obviously in the bio, which takes people into it. We can have people that respond to, that mention you in their Instagram story. We can have a conversation that starts from that point. We can have a chatbot in Messenger or Instagram also respond to comments on a post. So for example, now in Instagram, and particularly with the software that I use, you can create a hashtag that you can put in a post, and anybody that then comments on that post that hashtag is in will be led into the particular Instagram automated conversation that you assign to that hashtag. So there's quite a few powerful ways of getting people into the conversations with your business. And then the fourth aspect, the fourth side of the box, is then to look at the media types. So you've got all those other elements laid out already. And so last of all, you go, well, what are the media types? What do we want to use actually within the chatbot? So, do we want to use, and I suggest we try and keep it conversational, because people are used to having conversations in these platforms, in these messaging apps. So keep it conversational. So think about using things like emojis. We have the ability to use images, videos, audio. We can have carousels, that's you swipe across to see multiple images in one row. There's all sorts of different media that you can use within the chatbots. Now's the time to sit down and think about, what do I actually want to use and what kind of images. You can also use GIFs in there as well to add a bit of fun. So that's the build your box approach to constructing your chatbot. And that will help if you complete all those 4 sides, that will help to make every campaign that you do the most successful it can be. And so the next step is to think about, well, what's the purpose of your chatbot? Where do they actually fit in your business strategy? And this might have become obvious looking at the different, some of those different user journeys. So when we get to this point, well, this is a traditional funnel for your business where, you have your, say your website visitors that come in at the top of the funnel. they're cold traffic, they don't know you, where you might give them, people looking for information at that point. And so you might be offering them things like blog articles, videos, reports, white papers. So information basically to provide, to introduce them to you, to let them know that you know what you're talking about. And then they move down the funnel to the next stage, which is the like stage, where then they're comparing you against others. So you have other kinds of information that you give. And then the 2% at the bottom of the funnel where they're ready to take action, they're the ones that actually trust you. And so they then go and fill in a contact us form or make some sort of inquiry to you and then turn into customers. So that's your traditional funnel. And that's sourced from, that information there is sourced from HubSpot and Square 2 Marketing. So I'd like to talk now about, with chatbots, a different approach. And this is called the reverse funnel rollout. So it's taking still using the traditional idea of a funnel, but turning it on its head. So again, you might have at the top of your funnel, Instagram, Facebook, email, newspapers, billboards, whatever, all kinds of things feeding into the top of the funnel. And as they go down, people are just, at this first stage, they're a visitor. Then as they move, engage with more material, they start to become a lead. Then they might sort of add to cart to the point where they become a buyer. And that's often where people stop, is they leave them at the buyer and then they don't think about what goes beyond that. But then once you go beyond a buyer, you've got, about a 7-day period after that where they're very, very hot. Then you've got another 30-day period after that where you can do another certain range of activities, then another 180 days, about 6 months worth after that, where you can do certain things. So this is what we call the remarketing funnel. So if you do remarketing to those buyers who've, the ones who have just bought from you, the ones that are, a bit longer bought from you, that can easily equate to a 10 to 20% increase in your sales just by remarketing to these people with chatbots. That's pretty powerful, isn't it? A 10 to 20% increase in sales just from that. So that's starting with the hottest buyers. It's not thinking about, the cold traffic. It's thinking about people who are already know you, like you, and trust you because they bought from you. So why not actually try and maximize their value to you to start with? So we start with that, then we work back up the funnel. So then we look at people who've maybe added to cart and haven't bought, and doing remarketing to those people, again through chatbots, can add another 5 to 15% in sales. Oops. Yeah, so, and then you can work your way back to the top and to look at using bots for generating leads further up the top, and even website retargeting to those visitors at the top. That's going to add less value. So that's why it's more effective to start with your buyers and then moving back up. This is why we call it reverse funnel rollout. So let's now look at Business Manager. So Business Manager is a container basically for Facebook business activities. And I always recommend to all my clients that they have a Facebook Business Manager account set up. So it makes their whole, so unfortunately with Facebook, there are a few different ways you can set up ad accounts, your pages, all that kind of thing, because that's the way I've done it. But Facebook Business Manager gives is the best way for the long term. And you'll see why in a minute. So here we have essentially a diagram that shows you how Facebook Business Manager works. So you have one person that's the admin for the whole Business Manager account, which might be the owner of the business. And then you have your employees, which also have access to the assets in the account. So within the Business Manager account, you have your Facebook pages, you have your ad accounts, your Instagram accounts, your finance, which is your payment methods, other things like pixels, audiences, that kind of thing. They're all assets within the Business Manager. So what you can do as the admin is you can assign access to any or all of these to your Business Manager to your employees or to other people. So that's just within a business. Then if you're looking to work with another agency as a partner, it also makes sense there as well. So here we can see, you have your, within Business Manager, as the local business, have your Business Manager account set up. And within that, your payment methods, all your assets, your employees are given access to things. You admin it, you look after all that yourself. You also have your business page and your ad account. And so what you can do is then share the ad account with your ad agency's Business Manager account. So the Business Manager account so for example, my side would be given access to the page and the ad account. And then me as the admin of my Business Manager account would then assign access to either myself or to any of my employees, again, to any of the assets. So it just gives it that level of control over who gets to use what. It's really, highly recommended to set it up this way. And don't worry if you haven't, if you've already set up a Facebook page and ad account that are not in Business Manager, you can actually always bring them into that. So if you haven't used it before, and go to business.facebook.com, this is the screen that you will see. And so all you need to do is go ahead and create an account in Business Manager. I won't work through all the steps now. I'll just show you some of the screens just for the purposes of time. You'll see a page like this where you can have up to 2 ad accounts yourself, business accounts yourself. The other ones there are other businesses that are associated with me. So within Business Manager, and these screens may change a little bit to what you see now because Facebook is always changing the way things look and where things are. So it's always a bit of a hunt to find where things are. But essentially, you'll then be able to see, you'll get a screen. Oh, that's right. It's now called Business Suite. So there's another page again, Business Suite, where you can access basically a dashboard of your activity, your business activity. Then you can see this is the settings page. You can see all the different assets down the left-hand side there, whether that then can be assigned to, so here I've got myself highlighted, so you can see all the assets that have been assigned to me, starting with the pages. So it gives you that breakdown and control over who sees what. So we'll just go to a very brief guide to Facebook ads. Again, won't go into very in-depth here. A lot of people run ads for their businesses, but simply by boosting posts. Now, why that's all well and good, and Facebook often prompts you to boost this post, I suggest it's not the best use of your money, because the boosted posts are not exactly the same as Facebook ads. They're part of the same ad system in terms of how it works, but they're basically promotions of posts that you've already put up. And what happens is with the boosted posts is that Facebook makes many of the decisions for you. And so what you can't do is change the ad. The difference between boosting posts and an actual full-blown Facebook ad is that with a full ad, you can have a much greater range of ad objectives. You can run split tests. You can customize your placement options, which you can't do in boosted posts. You can exclude certain categories of publishers. You can choose what to optimize for. You can schedule your ad, and you actually have a creative, much greater control over your ad creative options. So I highly suggest running down the full ad route rather than boosting posts. You'll thank me for it at the end of the day. And there's just a few examples. There's just a few examples of ads and how they look on mobile. So let's get to some chatbot building just for the last few minutes. So we'll just go.
We have an idea here from
Yes.
Anis. Maybe help and guidance product information chatbox idea to help customers with their inquiries.
Sure. So okay, well let's have a look at. We'll just try doing a very simple, sort of customer help kind of chatbot, if you like. So let's go and do that. So I shall just change my screen share to my web browser, and fingers crossed for the technology works well, because we can't always guarantee that. All right, so you should be able to see my screen there now. Okay, can you see Chatbots?
Yes, all good.
Very good. Okay, fantastic. So this is Chatbots is the software that I use to run. So basically, the Chatbots is a third-party software that sits in between Facebook and the ad account and your page, and also in between the Messenger or Instagram account. So it basically feeds. So the conversation is designed and constructed within the software, and then it feeds the messages to your Messenger interface. There are a few other platforms around. So really, at the end of the day, it's up to you as to find one that suits your needs and your budget. One of the most well-known ones is probably ManyChat, which you may well have heard of. Another one out there is called Chatfuel. There's one called ChatMonkey. There's quite a number of them out there, and these are all the platforms that are designed for basically structured conversations. So what we're not doing today is going into the full AI side of chatbots. That's a whole nother world again, and it's sort of next level up in chatbots, and it takes a lot more knowing about what you're doing, and it's a different. It's more designed for bigger businesses that need that level of interaction. So a lot of what a small business needs, or small to medium business needs, can be achieved very easily through a structured conversation. And you just really need to think about how it's how to design the conversation to get the results you want. All right, so if you're going to use Chatbots, it's simply all you do is log in with Facebook. And here we go with the technology. Here we go, yes. Okay, so I've already previously been linked, so I can just, if I wanted to, I could edit my settings, which basically means I can then choose which Instagram accounts.
We don't see the window.
Oh, okay. Let me just reshare that. It's a pop-up, sorry. Let me just share the whole window. There we go. Is that better?
Yes, we see now.
Yeah, okay. All right, so yes, so I'm logging with Facebook here. So I can, at this point, I can choose if I've got any other pages I want to, or Instagram accounts that I want to add into. I can do that here. I won't do that now. Again, any other Facebook pages, just click through and next, and then I can choose what access they get. Essentially, they need all those full admin access to your page. So it's now linked to Facebook. Okay. Just waiting. There we go. All right, so that's my dashboard. So, and there's my list of pages and accounts down the side here. So I'll go to my chatbot testing page. And what I've got down the left here is we have a settings section. We have the main parts of the chatbot in this software are made up of workflows and then the triggers. So the workflows are the actual conversations that we have here. At the moment, I've just got two because I've just set this page up fairly recently. And then the triggers are basically what we call the entry points before. So if we go and add a new trigger, we'll give it call it test. So we have all these selection of triggers down the side here. So we have a welcome message. So the welcome message is when somebody clicks the send message button on your Facebook page. An auto response is an auto response to any message that comes in. JSON is a particular format for attaching to Facebook ads. Keyword message is when somebody types a particular keyword, that message will respond to that keyword. The m.me is how you create a URL for the conversation. You can actually create buttons too for your website. A chat widget is their code, generates the code to put on your website as a little pop-up. The private reply is for responding to when people message you directly, and the checkbox is another format where you tick a box again when you're submitting a form to enter the conversation. So they're the triggers that are available. And so they essentially just get assigned to one of the workflows that we created. So let's go in here, we'll add a new workflow. And there are a whole bunch of templates that are available as a sort of a starting point. But what we'll do is go and create a blank one. So here we go. This is the builder format in the screen, and I've only got a few minutes left, so we'll just go. So the first step might be that you go and add some text. And I'll just move some boxes around here so I can see all my screen. And depending on, all the different softwares all look a bit different, but they essentially have the same sort of functionality and create. You have steps for the conversation. So the first step might be that you have an image that you pop in, and we can move this up to the first thing. We can make this a GIF image, and we'll say hi. I'll do a search. Cute little kid there saying hi. So then the next bit might be that you say hi, and we'll drop in their first name, because this is the thing that once they're in the conversation, we can have access to their first name. So say hi, their first name. Can we help you today? I might say thanks for dropping in. How can we help you today? All right. And then we can add what's called a delay. And that just adds a little, a few seconds delay. And if you click the show typing, that'll show those little 3 dots that move, just as if somebody's, when somebody's typing to your messenger, it shows those little 3 dots there. And then we might drop in and say another piece of text that says, here are a few options. Yep. Okay. It's not going to behave for me today. And then you can add some buttons. So I'll just, for the sake of time, we'll go, okay, so for example, so Anis was asking about product information chatbot. So products 1. And we can so they want to find out about product 1. Then we go send a new message. So changes. So you can see how now let's put this new message up with a link to it. And so then we might have a picture with the product. You can do a search. Shoe. Boom. Here we go. And then if you wanted to go, you know, send them off to a by shoe, you can put in a URL. That will take them off to visit the product page for that product. So you can get the idea of this is the thing you can do like that. If we go back to this one here, we'll add another button. So it might be get some help. That will take them to another message. Oops, sorry. And we can put in all right. So then we can do things for, like, I just want to show you a little bit of the functionality here. So in here, you would say, okay, we need your email address so we can send you the info. Click below or type new one. And then what we do is what's called a quick reply. So a quick reply is different to a button that we used before. A quick reply is a little box that pops up in the message, but then disappears once you click on it. But for this quick reply, we want to use that to collect their email address. So this collects the email address that's in their Facebook account or their Instagram account and pops it into and we'll save it to an email field. So then we're saving that information that we can use and repopulate or send them an email. So we can save it to field, save the values, that will save their, and then it goes to the next message. So what that happens is that, yeah, so when somebody sees that message, they'll see their email address popped up. So they can either click on it to send it, or they can type a new one. Then we get to the next message, we say, thanks for that, you'll hear from us soon. Okay, simple as that. We'll leave it at that for now, keeping it simple. But then the next thing we can do is we can now do a put a smart delay in, which is just we can say for one, so wait for 1 minute. And the next step from that can be that we'll send a message. Oops, not a message. Sorry, we can actually send an email. So we can send an email directly from within this platform as well. So then we can use in the email, we can send it to the email address that we just collected. So we can just pop that in there. And so whoever comes through, whenever they put their email address in, that will get populated in the to field of the email and it gets sent off. So there's all sorts of powerful things we can do. We can do the same thing with phone number and then send them SMSs, all sorts of things. So that's just a very simple example of the way a potential a customer support chatbot might potentially work. So I hope that gives you a bit of an idea. And I suppose just a few more minutes, we've got time for some questions, if anyone has any.
Yes, let's just stop the live stream. If you could tell the YouTube audience who are watching it on replay or watching it right now where people can reach you, that would be great. And after that, I'm stopping the live stream.
Sure. Yes, so you can reach me on www.stretchimagination.com.au, or you can find me on Instagram at username @stretchimagination.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So I will just